Welcome to Radical Leadership, and we're having a conversation today about the rich and the wealthy. I bet you may have known, but you don't get it to the degree that you want to discuss it. So, with my co-host Efe Juma, we want to discuss it in depth so that you can get the difference between the two and know yourself as well. Juma.
Yes.
Efe Juma.
You say Efe Juma.
Efe Juma.
Yes, Efe Juma.
Welcome.
Thank you.
It's a Valentine's Day.
Yes.
Did you take your bae for Valentine's?
I'm not that much into seasonal things.
Okay.
Yes. But for the sake of our viewers, I just want to wish you happy Valentine's. Though there is much into that. There are people who are actually celebrating Valentine's, but they don't understand what it is actually. Yes.
Yeah. By the way, one time, actually I guess we've discussed it. It is one of our videos about the origin.
But for now, just wish them happy Valentine's.
And yes, get involved into what we want to discuss today, the rich versus the
And by
wealthy.
the way, before even we move into this, you know Valentine's, these are spiritual things.
Everything is spiritual.
Everything is spiritual.
Yes.
Not everything is spiritual.
Everything is spiritual.
Not everything is spiritual.
Everything.
You can defend that?
Yes.
Okay.
I can.
But this is more spiritual, yeah? Yeah, because today there are so many people who are going to break up because of this event. You understand? Yes, there's unrealistic expectations that some people are having, and all
There are
that is based
some
on mindsets.
who are also going to disobey the rule of financial expenditure. They're going to spend extremely.
Very nice.
Extremely.
Very nice.
Which
Owing
tells us
to our topic of
today. Yes.
The rich are really going to spoil them. Yeah, they're really going to spoil them.
And you will understand why the rich will and the wealthy won't. Not that they are not willing to. They may be willing to, but they may not do it to the extent that the rich will. And you'll get to understand why.
Okay.
Yes.
So,
Tell us, what's the difference between the rich and the poor? I mean, the rich and the wealthy.
the wealthy, if one to differentiate somebody who is wealthy from someone who is rich, actually, ideally, you use the type of asset that these people are holding. Okay? And sometimes it's these elements that we've highlighted here.
Yes.
These are the ones that we are going to elaborate so that they can be able to understand.
Income versus asset, source of money.
Yes, so for example, like I've just mentioned here, they depend with the type of assets that
The
they
type
are
of
holding.
asset that they're holding.
Yes.
Either
So
the
you find
wealthy
that
and the rich.
the rich mostly hold assets that are liquid.
Liquid assets.
Yes, if you say liquid assets, what I mean, these are assets that are in money form.
Monetary form.
Yes, they're in money form, like you can spend it immediately. We have called them cash and cash equivalents. Okay, for example, you can talk about that cash, the cash at hand or cash in hand, and also you can talk about the debit card. Those are cash and cash equivalents. So the people who are very rich, they have huge money in their banks.
Yeah, they have the liquid form.
Yes, they have a lot of
highly
money.
liquid.
Yes. So we find that if you have a lot of liquid money, when needs arises, you find that it's very easy for you to spend. So you find that we call them that they are spendthrift in nature, and then they tend to spend on luxurious stuff. There are people who want to identify, like they are selling that thing, richness. They want everybody outside there to know that, you see,
I can afford this.
you can't be a caliber of so and so.
I can afford this.
Yes, you can afford this. Okay, there are these people that maybe would even hire cars, huge cars, and like just to show off. You understand? I'm not saying that hiring a car is bad, but if you are capable of doing that, then it's okay. But you see, some of them, they are
The
not
intention.
capable.
Now the intention here matters, eh?
Intention matters, and also capability. You understand? You see, even when we're discussing about rent, okay, there's some laws that you have to follow. You might be paying rent just to impress people around you, but actually, economically,
You are not supposed
you
to
are
be
not
there.
supposed to pay rent that much. Okay, you understand?
get it,
So
I
that's
get
what happened. Yeah, this person, if it's about the car, this person could have hired a car of lower value than going for a car which is of higher value, and also consuming fuel seriously.
The fuel guzzlers.
Yes,
They
fuel
call them.
guzzlers. With one intention,
To
to impress people, to show people that actually I have cash.
That's where I belong. They'll be like,
So-
this is where I belong.
That's a rich person. Then
Like, it's money is there. Money is not a problem. It's there.
yes, money is
It's
there.
in liquid form. We can
But
spend it.
now the problem with this kind of people, when the source of income is cut, and sometimes you find that they only have one stream of income. For example, this person is paying huge sums of money in terms of salary. Okay, this person is earning a lot of money in terms of salary. Let's say maybe 100,000 or even 1 million in a month. Okay, so this person translates this. They are subjecting to that law that says that when income increases,
expenditure
then expenditure also tends to
lifestyle increases.
Yes, lifestyle also is increasing. You understand?
Yes.
Yes, so that's ideally the rich. Now, the wealthy sometimes you can hardly tell that they are wealthy.
You can
They are
barely
very
tell.
simple in,
Why?
even in their lifestyle.
Why?
They have
don't you-
understood the principles of wealth multiplication. So that's why they have to design, or they have to tell their financial habits or money habits. Okay, they understand. They follow those simple rules. They are consistent with them, so that's why even their wealth continue compounding, and you find that their wealth is sustainable. They don't fear maybe losing one stream of income. If, for example, if this person is employed, this person don't fear being fired, because he don't depend only on that salary. It depends on various revenue streams.
So the person can be employed but still very wealthy.
Yes, you can be employed. And
So
very
this
wealthy.
this story of if you want to make it to be wealthy, or if you want to make wealth, you must be your, let's say, a business person, not an employee, is not that true, or it holds water to a certain degree.
You see, we have people who are employed and they are wealthy. You understand? We have so many people who are employed and they are wealthy. So we can't say that it's ideal that way. But what that thing just try to tell you that, you see, when you are growing through the employment, you follow the systematic, you follow the system throughout. And when you follow the system, you find that you cannot beat somebody who's at the top. Okay?
The chain is okay.
Yes.
Whatever you're earning can't be more than what somebody above
who
you
is on
earning.
top of you in terms of rank. You can't beat him or her in terms of your earnings. Okay? And even if you have good ideas, you need to channel it through the person who on top of you. That's the person who's supposed to speak the thing. It's not you. You understand? When you come with the idea that is going to generate revenue, you speak through your manager. So the idea is coming through your manager. You understand? It's not you. When you say it's you, that idea will not want to come out. So you have to go through the system. But then, if you're smart enough, because if you're smart enough, you can bypass some and find yourself somewhere. You understand?
I get it.
Yeah. So such people are the people who they are wealthy, and they're still employed. Yes.
I see that mostly in the in politics. You find that somebody is a cabinet secretary, somebody is a member of parliament.
Yes.
They have accumulated wealth,
Yes.
but are still employees.
Yes. Okay, you see, we have different types of employment. There's some employment that we call them, they are greener pasture compared to others. Okay, you being a civil servant, a senior civil servant, you can't compare that person with somebody who is rising through corporates. Some corporates, yeah. Yes, though there are some which are competitive in terms of those international ones, the ones that well-established corporates. Yes, you can say so, but majority of them, they are not that well. So compared to the civil servants across, yes, yes, you find that when you are civil servant, a senior position, you are entitled to, and also when you come about being a civil servant, we have different categories. There are those people who are coming as appointees, and there are those people who are coming as electees, and then there are those people who are coming nominated or nominees, and there are those people who are just coming as the employees. Now you go through you just get employed there. Yes, so those ranks, it depends on how you came in. So if you came in as a nominee, you find that you have sitting allowances, you have all those, so you have benefits more, because you are coming as for the nominees, for the appointees, for the electees, they're coming as managers. You understand? They're coming as the top. For example, in a constituency, you only have in one constituency you only have one member of parliament, so that's the boss there. But the problem, it is a seasonal thing, so you have to defend that position. Okay, when you lose that position, it goes like that. Okay, so and also I can relate this one to the law of risk and return. The higher the risk, the higher the return. So for example, look at somebody who is aspiring to be an MP, member of parliament. You really need to inject capital.
Yes.
Use capital to sell your agenda and all that manifesto to people. Yes, and mark you, by the time you are doing this, you are not guaranteed of whether you are going to get or not get this. You understand? Yeah. So when you get the better, the package is good for you. Okay, but then you find now this not everyone can finance that, so that's why you find that only a few can go that direction. So it depends. If you are a government official, then what position are you? How did you come in? You understand? Yeah. Talk of cabinet secretaries or ministers. In other words, talk of them when they are coming in. Those are appointees. And for you to be appointed, for you to be in the limelight, to be appointed, it means that president know you personally.
There's something that at least the president knows you.
Yes, the president of that person. And if the president knows you, then it means you are a brand. And when you come with a brand, your package is also good.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
So such people, even for them to be even nominated, it means that they are wealthy. You understand? They have assets.
So income versus assets.
Yes.
So when we compare income versus asset in terms of a wealthy person and in terms of a rich person. So how do they differ?
So how they differ depends. For example, I said assets. It depends with assets that you are holding. Now, for I've said that for majority of rich people, they have inflated bank accounts.
So the rich, we say, have inflated bank accounts.
Yes, bank accounts. They have a lot of money in terms of liquid cash. You understand? Yes, they have the cash and cash equivalent such that they can convert. Okay, these people tend to have tendency of spending a lot. You understand?
Because they are liquid.
Because they are liquid.
So it's easy to spend.
Yes, it's easy to
liquid
spend. Yes.
Than
and sometimes they depend because they spend because of lifestyle, not necessarily because they want to spend, but because they want to show people that they really have money. They need. They call for respect by spending. You understand? He can go and he or she can go and buy something that not everyone can buy. So that one bring respect by default.
So if we mention asset, which kind of asset?
So
will we see you owning, and then we say now this person is not just rich, is wealthy, or this person is wealthy?
In fact, the wealthy individuals, they are not easily identifiable. Okay, you can only identify them when you start scrutinizing them. You understand? They hide even those wealth. They are not even proud. They won't come out saying that, you see, I'm wealthy. They don't talk it out.
It's an hidden thing.
Yes, and you cannot really trace them. Even there's some of the some of the assets they are owning, you are using those assets and you don't know that those assets belong to them.
There may be brands that I've interacted with.
Yes.
I've used, but I don't
even know. Currently where you stay, that person is wealthy because he has a real estate. Now you are paying him or her rent. You understand? So that is a return to some of the investment that the person is holding.
If you have the likes of real estate,
yes,
you have the likes of what else?
So
should we classify you as
we have to classify these things. We first start with, we have what we call real assets.
Real assets.
Yes, we have real assets. Or you can also call them tangible assets. Then we have financial assets.
Then financial assets.
So we can classify them in terms of physical or non-physical. So we have real and tangible.
Real are very physical.
They are physical. They're things you can see.
Like a real estate.
A real estate, land, okay? Those properties. Those are. Then again, you can classify this asset in terms of liquidity.
So real assets are not that liquid.
Yeah, they are less liquid.
Less liquid.
If we say they are less liquid, I understand that some of our audience are people who are having basic. They might not have the in-depth information about this. So when you talk about less liquid, it means these are some of the assets that you cannot just wake up today and say that tomorrow I'm selling this, and you do that conversion in that day and you're done. Or
you have an emergency and then you dispose the asset and then boom.
Actually, some of these assets, real assets, when you have them, the people can even consider you a poor person. Because when you're hit with emergency, you can't act.
Are you trying to say that now wealth and poor?
Let me ask.
Somebody whose wealth is just.
No, let me ask you. For example, you own a piece of land. That's what you have. You prioritized owning a land. Okay?
Yes.
So you have a piece of land somewhere. Then immediately you have an emergency which need some cash.
Yep.
Will you meet that emergency? Will you cover that emergency?
No.
You will not cover that emergency.
I'm not liquid
yes.
at that time. So I may be forced to dispose this particular asset of mine.
Even that disposal
takes a process.
It will take a process. That's why I say it is liquid. Disposal, you see, disposal can take even more than a month.
Yeah.
Yes, so that's why we are saying that at that time, you are the same with that poor person because you cannot meet that obligation. You understand? So you cannot meet that obligation. At that time, you are illiquid as that poor person is also illiquid.
So the only difference is the poor does not even have the asset to dispose.
Yes.
But me, I have.
You just require time. The only difference, you require time.
I get it.
You understand? Yes. So when you're comparing between the rich
and the
wealthy, we also talk about net worth.
Net worth.
Net worth is very important.
What is a net worth?
Now, net worth is the difference between the total assets you are holding and the total liabilities that you are holding. Okay? So
I have an entire list of my assets, liabilities, and a list of my assets.
Start with assets. We give asset priority.
Okay. I have a list of my assets and a list of my liabilities.
Yes.
The difference.
So the difference
gives me my net worth.
So if the difference is positive, then you say you are
wealthy.
You are now. It will depend with the volume or the weight. So if your net worth is high, then it's when you say that you are wealthy. But if your net worth is low, then you are not that wealthy.
No, we say you are poor.
That's not necessary. By the way, no, a poor person is having a negative net worth.
Yes.
They are not low net worth. They are having negative net worth.
That means their liability is more than their assets.
Yes.
In fact, they may not even have an asset.
They might have maybe ancestral land. Yes, that's an asset. We have to consider that. They might, if they are pressed to, they are pushed to the corner, they can
push.
They can go for that ancestral land. So you can't just say that they have nothing at all unless they sold it. Or they sold those assets that they were having or they inherited. So we look at net worth. Another element on how to compare these people. Now you'll find the rich, they are low net worth.
Low net worth.
Yes.
The rich, yes.
They are low net worth. While
the wealthy are high net worth.
Okay. Yes, yes, you can't approach them just like this and tell them I need this amount of money. They won't give you because they don't have the money.
But if you give them time, they will.
If you give them time, they will, because there are people who even the financial institution that can hear them. Because when even they want loan, they will just go there and they will just present their balance sheet, and those financial institutions will be willing to give them any amount they would wish to have.
That drives me to this point that you're saying, sources of money.
Sources of money.
Yes.
So yes, sources of money. Here we mean like, you see, for rich people, I said earlier that for the rich people or rich individuals, you find that they might not even be having a range of sources of income. They might not even be having streams of income. They might even be just having one stream of income. But let's say, for example, we have somebody who is working for an international company, okay?
Yes.
That is really paying well or compensating the employees very well. So this person is even pocketing around a net of 600,000. Okay. Now this person is a rich person if he doesn't use those income well by investing them into real assets. You understand?
Yes, yes.
Then that is an instance of somebody who is rich. Then when you talk about the wealthy people, the wealthy people majorly depend on revenue. They can depend on this type of revenue sources. One, passive income. Then they can also depend on
portfolio income,
and also they can depend on earnings, which we can say salary and allowances that they get from the job that they do. Okay,
salary,
such that
portfolio,
yes, and earning. We say salary, portfolio, and passive income.
And passive income, yeah.
Yes. So when we say that salary or earnings, we talk of the income that you really have to go and work for that.
For you to get it.
In fact, it is being paid in arrears. You must go and work, then is when you are being paid at the end of the month after you've delivered your services. You understand? So that is
income.
That is income. So income is equals to basic salary plus allowances.
Okay, and before you even drive longer when you're addressing that, I would also want you to tie it to taxes impact. Would you tie this point on source of money with tax impact? Because
yes,
as you're addressing the income.
One rule that the wealthy people understand best is how to avoid taxes, not evading taxes. They avoid taxes. The right term is avoiding, or okay, the right taxes we use, the right terms that we use. We have what we call tax evasion and tax avoidance. Now, tax evasion is illegal,
whereby you don't pay at all.
You don't. Okay, even if you just like you don't pay illegally. There's just the legal thresholds are what differentiate the two. Okay, so for avoidance is that you are planning legally. Okay, you're using tax loopholes.
Is that not a thief?
No, legally. I've said legally. Use constitution. You understand?
So the constitution can allow
yes, there
you
is tax acts.
Avoid paying tax.
Reduce tax that you are exposed to. Constitutionally. You understand? You go to tax acts or finance acts. You read them well, you understand. Okay? For example,
get that.
Should I get deep into that? But maybe we'll get deep into that. But what I'm trying to say is the wealthy
knows how to avoid tax.
They usually put tax into consideration whenever they are making financial decisions. You understand? For example, if you are a shareholder, okay, if you're a shareholder in a particular company, you understand? You can choose not to earn dividend, but go for capital gains. Why? Because capital gains are only taxed when you sell the stocks.
Oh.
Yes.
Not when somebody buys. Okay.
I mean, the only time that you will be able to pay that tax is when you actually trade or when you sell. If you are holding stocks, when you sell,
that's when you get taxed.
When you get taxed. But when you don't sell, it means that you will be just accumulating capital gains, but it will not be taxed.
So
you are
what is
the
rate? What is always the average rate?
Okay, for in the context of Kenya, dividend, capital gains, and dividend gains, they are being taxed at 5%.
5%.
5%. That's withholding tax.
5. That's relative. That's good.
So the rich don't understand how to reduce
avoid or
minimize taxes legally. Okay, so you'll find that the wealthy, they tend to convert the earning they are having into assets. Then, in other words, they are trying to ensure that their main source of income is through through the income that is chargeable to less tax. For example, when you earn a salary, and that one will depend with the jurisdiction of where you come from. You understand? So if you earn a salary, most of the jurisdiction, you'll find that taxes under those employees, the employees are paying more taxes compared to an investor who is earning a lot of income through the dividends. Because if you say that dividends in the context of Kenya, you only pay 5% withholding, and
while
as an employee, you will pay around 35%.
Yeah, pay as you earn.
Yes, you will
so
pay
which
around
can go up to
35%.
Yet this person pays 5, so
5%.
This is 30% more.
Yes.
Yet he is even earning more than you.
Yes.
So 5% of the dividends that he's going to earn.
Yes.
Versus the 35% that you're being taxed.
So these people are just smart, and even if you want to catch up with them in terms of VAT, because VAT is same across all of us.
Yes.
They will go for bulk purchase.
So
So you see the difference between these people is just like they are planning. They understand the system. You understand? So they will go for the bulk purchase. They will go for the promotion.
Call it advantage of
economies of scale.
Economies of scale.
Yes. They enjoy economies of scale. They go and buy a lot.
So and it's like if you buy 2 kgs of let's say rice.
Yes.
It won't be the same as somebody who buys maybe 20 kg.
Who going to a small scale retailer who is buying in bulk and
then
breaking the bulk. We call breaking the bulk. They break the bulk, they repackage. Then after repackaging, they charge the transportation cost from the wholesaler.
Of course, they will have to add all the
costs plus profit margin, because they have brought the goods closer to you. But see, this wealthy, they have even the assets. They will just walk with their van, go to the wholesale, they buy it from there. So they will reduce what? In fact, they will even just go and bargain there as if they are going to trade it, trade the goods, okay? Buy and trade. They go as a trader. So they enjoy what we call quantity discount. Okay, so for getting the quantity discount. So you see, they are trying to minimize the taxation as much as possible.
So if it's VAT, you minimize and see how you can minimize the tax.
Yes.
If it is
pay as you
earn, you see how you can minimize it from 35 to roughly 5.
Yes. Then that way, when we're just talking about expenditure, and under expenditure, we have consumption expenditure and capital expenditure. So we will just be talking about consumption expenditure. Okay. Now they are also very informed about capital expenditure. And when we talk about capital expenditure, what are we talking about? We're talking about how to make investment decisions. Now, after getting this salary, how best can they invest them into more viable or opportunities and multiply their wealth. Yeah, so that's what basically make the difference between the wealthy and the rich. So most of the rich guys, they are less informed in money habits and how best can go about
Because they
it.
are liquid, they easily spend it, and then they don't get the how tax impacts them with that.
Now, the corona or COVID-19 was the one of the best scenario which you could use to differentiate between
The
a wealthy
wealthy
person
and
and the rich. The rich people got broke in less than
Because they
3
were
months.
spending.
In less than 3 months, they were broke. Because, for example, you are very rich. You are working for an international organization. Then, all of a sudden, you are told
The doors
to
are closed.
go home and wait. We'll call you back. And imagine you've been receiving income, a good income, but also your expenditure or your lifestyle has been high. So it means this person, they were not retaining something good.
From the income.
Yes, from the income, they were receiving income, then they were spending also a lot. So that what they okay, it is easily for rich people to live paycheck to paycheck. You receive a lot,
You spend.
you spend a lot. Such that in that scenario of COVID-19, you could ask these people, like they could just tell you what they have is the historical.
Yes.
They have historical finances. They've been receiving a lot and they've been paying a lot. You understand?
Yeah.
So, but for the wealthy, actually, the dividends were still being paid.
Because the
Companies were still running. Their companies.
It's only that they'd reduced the number of employees, but the companies were still running.
That is survival. That is now to make the rich now to suffer. Because they're the people who are being laid off. That is survival. But you understand, the wealthy, they're the shareholders. They don't appear even there. They only make decisions for the company. Okay? They even the people who decide who to go out. You understand? Yes, so some of the managers, some of the top employees can not be wealthy, but they can be rich people.
So I'm seeing you've also tied that income with the time and lifestyle.
Yes.
Because now your lifestyle will tell how much you need to invest and how much you need to save.
Yes. And yes, true.
Because sources of income we've already discussed.
Yes. So true. So it's good that way. Then when you come to what we call
longevity of financial stability.
Yes. Like I've just mentioned.
When the corona was a test,
yes,
the wealthy could have a longer financial
they could survive
stability
for a longer
than
period. In fact, they survived beyond
COVID.
I didn't want to mention some of them, but you know them.
Yeah.
Some of the people who are considered wealthy in your society, they were not threatened by this. In fact, they were the one who are donating.
COVID was not a threat to them.
That was not a threat.
It was a longevity
of
their
it
financial.
impacted their financial, their streams or the income they were receiving, but it was not a threat to them.
They can't be compared with the rich because the rich must have already spent their
the rich
liquid.
Turned to poor. They crossed the poor line.
So there's a very thin line here
between the rich and the poor. Yes.
And the poor.
Yes.
So you can simply
just suppress their source of income,
and
they
they've
cross
already
the line.
crossed.
Yes.
Oh my.
So that's the basis of this particular discussion. Ensure that you are a wealthy person. Don't be just a rich person. Try to be a wealthy person such that if the second round of COVID-19 comes,
any pandemic
or any crisis that can hit the economy, then you don't stand the risk of crossing to
the poor.
Very fast, not just crossing very fast.
It happens
because crossing the poverty line very fast. Yes. So if you want to be sustainable, in fact, the wealthy people, the wealth they have is living beyond them.
Yes.
Okay? It is sustainable beyond them. They pass a legacy.
A lot.
Yes.
That runs for the lineage.
Yes.
So even in their absence,
yes,
this wealth can still be passed down
these people enjoy what we call financial freedom. They have no need
Financial
to worry.
freedom.
Yes. They don't need to worry about any expenditure. And they have planned things. For example, I told you that they are very well informed in terms of assets or financial planning or risk management.
They have information.
They have information. So for instance, a wealthy person will not remove money from the pocket or from the bank account to go and pay school fee. They won't do that.
From my pocket or from my...
They don't.
Why?
They use plans. They can either decide to go the insurance way.
So that's why we have the insurance way.
Yes, we have
Or-
educational insurance policies that can take care for their children. So you find this person, even if this person dies, the child will not even
Insurance will
tap.
still take care of the
They will not
education
even
system.
tap into their assets at that time. They will be taken care of by the insurance policy or the insurance company that they took policy from. So they will just continue with the education until they finish. When they finish is when they will start discussing about what did my father left behind. You understand?
Fathers, please try and leave
What did
something
my
for your
fathers
sons.
mothers will also cry. What did my mother left behind? Okay. Yes, there are some mothers also who are very planful. They are capable. Yeah. So it's for both of them. So they are very planful. When you talk about wealthy people, they are very planful. They are informed. So from our discussion, you can conclude that wealthy people are informed.
Wealthy people are informed.
Yes.
Rich people...
Rich people are less informed.
Not that
when
they are
it
not
comes to
informed.
money.
They are informed but less informed.
They are less informed.
While the wealthy are more informed.
They are more informed in money matters and investment. So some of the wealthy people are these people we call the astute investors. We call them the astute investors because they understand how the market works, the market dynamics,
Where to put their money, when, how,
and for how long. You understand?
I get it.
Yes. They understand risk mitigation measures. For instance, I've given you...
If it's education, they go for insurance to minimize the
even their
risk.
properties.
They
They insure even their properties. If they are having their vehicles, even if they are having a plantation somewhere, they can take a cover for that plantation. So such that if the crops don't yield, they get compensated.
I've seen that happening as well.
You understand?
But
So they are informed. They try to mitigate risk as much as possible.
which the rich does not.
And you remember, we usually say that
The rich
it
do
is
not.
only risky when
You have no information.
you have no information. So they can go for the more risky investments, but with
information.
so it becomes less riskier to them.
Because
but
you're already
return is
informed, and then the return is high because the higher the risk, the higher the return.
yes,
And because you're informed about the risk that you want to take, you're
Yes.
expecting a huge return.
yes, they're informed.
That
so you
is
understand?
picked.
So that's ideally between
The wealthy.
the difference between the wealthy and the rich.
Thank you.
So, as a person who is trying to pursue holistic living, try to be a wealthy person.
And I like it when we had a discussion off air, when we were trying to say the best is not living either. The best is living both.
Yes, both are. Me sometimes, if I'm asked to choose between options, I do say both, because the rule of both is also applied in so many areas.
When you
For example,
choose life and death, life or death.
no, don't do negative things.
No, life is good.
life and death. But of course, that is, you don't choose because okay, automatically both of them will apply. So that's how I'm saying rule of both is there. Okay? But then you look at the ratio. Okay? Proportion.
So for
to which you
financial
balance them.
purposes, you have to understand, use the ratio.
So I was explaining something. Always be a person who want both. If you go with both, because even if you look at portfolio designing, you try to go with both. Okay.
Yes.
But now we say that you try to balance the portfolio. Okay. You balance the portfolio
so that you are not less liquid.
The idea is,
and you're also not more liquid.
Okay, you should not be that badly off. You should not just hold all your assets are illiquid assets, such that when emergency comes, it becomes very difficult even for you to meet such short-term needs. So in as much as you are wealthy, you should also have some portion of resources in liquid form. You understand?
So
in liquid form.
have real assets. No, actually I should be writing this way so that my viewers can see. I don't know if my handwritings will behave. Real assets and have real assets and
financial assets.
Financial assets.
In other words, have liquid assets and illiquid assets, but the larger proportion should be illiquid assets.
Liquid.
So that it discourages you from being spendthrift. But you should also have a proportion of
financial assets.
Financial asset or
so
liquid
that you can
assets.
Also spend.
Yes, you can also meet your short-term needs without having, because if you don't have the liquid assets, when emergency comes, it will force you to go to debt. You understand? And when you go to debt, sometimes we say that the market is not good for lenders. For borrowers. So it will leave you with no choice but to go for debt and pay more.
And you go for debt, you pay more because of the interest.
Yes, if the borrowing terms are not favorable, then you will pay more in terms of interest. When you pay more in terms of interest, then you are building another rich
person.
So that is a game of mind. It's a game of mind. So you must always ensure that you balance
the game and you're winning
your portfolio. So your portfolio should have real assets and should also have some financial assets. Or your portfolio should have liquid assets and also illiquid assets. And by the way, if you want to know this thing, usually look at the legal person, the corporates. If you look at the balance sheet, they usually have liquid assets and also have fixed assets in the portfolio. You just go randomly look at any financial statement, balance sheets of any.
I'll find the two.
Any company, you must find the two. So let us usually try to imitate the legal person or the artificial person, that is the companies, how they balance their portfolio. Then you can do that one at personal level. So I think that way will be good.
Yes. That is well articulated.
So guys, I believe you've really enjoyed this session, because we've exposed you to the rich and the wealthy. And of course, now you know the benefit of being a rich person and the benefit of being a rich person, and also the downsides of both sides.
Yes.
So,
and to just conclude, the ideal is be both.
The ideal is be both, but then you have to be sure that you do your rationing well. Ensure that the better proportion is going for the real assets. Then liquid assets should take the
lesser portion.
Less portion, because when you give more portion to liquid assets,
you're going to be caught up in the tax impact, because you'll be paying more taxes.
Yes, and also you ensure that you'll be influenced with that spendthrift motive. Okay, so you may be a spendthrift, because when you see, when emergency arises, or just some needs, not emergency, of course you'll have to meet, but there's some needs which are not needs, let me say wants. There's some wants that might be tempting when you have liquid assets. So always try to reduce liquid assets that you are holding. Yes. Within a year. So
it's well articulated.
Yes, thank you for that, and yes, see you in the next episode.
See you in the next episode, guys.
Nice.
Bye.